Back with a vengeance and with no traces left of bipartisanship, a newly reshuffled opposition frontbench handed the government some fresh material.
In a choice between macho and mincing, I would have gone for macho myself.
Although user error gave the opposition a chance to reclaim some ground.
The Shadow Treasurer has the height of a rhinoceros, Mr Speaker, because... Rhinoceros, Mr Speaker, the height of a rhinoceros.
This is a nervous Treasurer out of his depth.
As it tries to put a week of party disunity behind it, the opposition today seized the initiative on climate change.
We certainly are having second thoughts about the government's proposed emissions trading scheme, and we'd be Robinson Crusoe if we weren't.
Malcolm Turnbull insists he can do better than the government's target range of 5 to 15%, flagging deeper and industry-friendly cuts.
Certainly we should cut our emissions by more than what Mr Rudd has proposed, and I've set out how we can do that. I gave a speech in January which showed how we could, at relatively low cost and with great additional benefits to our environment, cut an additional 150 million tonnes a year by 2020.
Mr Turnbull is going to put on the table a target. He has to have a plan to get there. Unfortunately, what he's been doing to date is targets and figures which are a mirage.
The Greens too will take some convincing.
I always welcome other parliamentarians talking about higher targets and recognising that the government's 5% is meagre and weak, but I have difficulty believing it until I actually see what those targets are.
But the Greens and the opposition are agreed on the need to force a Senate inquiry into the government's emissions trading scheme.
Nothing the government does can shut down the Senate inquiry or preclude the Parliament hearing the evidence from the scientists and those people who want to get cracking on investing in the new low-carbon economy.
Tonight, a Senate committee gave a taste of things to come.
Senator, your
that's the implication of what you are saying.
For a higher
that you
target.
know what everything's going on here. No, there are a bunch of idiots.
Senator, you're arguing for a higher target. That's what your leader's arguing for.
But through a different mechanism.
One that never puts any cost.
I'm not arguing about anything. I'm trying to get some information. And you are implying that these people do not understand their own industry, but you understand it all.
The government has its work cut out for it as it continues to push its emissions trading scheme amid a gloomy economic backdrop, yet nothing seems to dent the Prime Minister's popularity. The latest news poll in tomorrow's Australian newspaper has Kevin Rudd standing as preferred Prime Minister, edging higher to 64%. After battling disunity fallout, Malcolm Turnbull hasn't budged. It's more for the government to milk.
Obviously, the leader of the opposition, faced with the choice of a Doberman or poodle, has gone for the poodle.
You can only wonder how they'd poll. Kieran McKechnie, Lateline.